Hi, my name is Randy Agert, and this is for the class Bad Words and Taboo Terms. This is the final in a series of videos that we've been doing on the three aspects of meaning. So we've got informative meaning, we've got emotional meaning, and we've got social meaning. And I've done videos explaining each one of those in some more detail. Now we're going to kind of bring it all back together, and we're going to compare three words across those three aspects. So the three words that we're interested in are fuck, make love, and copulate. So here's a meaning grid that we can use to compare these three words across the three aspects of meaning. So we've got fuck, which informatively means have coition. I'm sorry, I just like that expression. Have coition. Seems so academic. All right, the next one is the emotional meaning of fuck, which clearly has a high emotional value to it. It's strongly emotional. It's one of the stronger words in our language in terms of its emotional meaning, and it's got a negative meaning. Now, you could say that sometimes it can be used in a positive way, like, that's fucking fantastic, or fuck yeah. But what I would argue is that those are kind of a valence switch that's done pragmatically. That's not part of the linguistic meaning, but part of the communicated meaning. That in certain contexts, you can switch the valence of emotion of any word. And it just happens that we like to do that with swear words in certain contexts. So I don't think it changes the fact that emotionally this is a negative word in English, but sometimes in the right context, it can be used in a positive way. And then finally, on the social meaning of fuck, it's got a low register, meaning that in terms of formality, it's a very informal word. High register means formal, low register means informal. And it's got a high tabooness. Certainly not the highest of any English word, but relatively speaking, it's got pretty high tabooness. So compare it to shit, for example, or to hell or damn, it's got a fairly high level of tabooness. We can compare then those three aspects of meaning of fuck to the same three aspects of meaning of make love, which informatively has exactly the same meaning of have coition. Now, some people have argued that there's some slight differences in meaning between fuck and make love, that fuck implies some violence. I've had students say that. Okay, granted, that may be the case, but its core informative meaning in both words is have coition. There might be some other differences in terms of informative meaning, but their main informative meaning is the same. Emotionally, make love is not a terribly emotional word. I would say it's low mid in terms of its strength. And turns out it's a pretty positive word, right? That's a positive way of describing having coition. And in terms of register, it's mid-register. This is something that you would use in normal everyday conversations. It's not something that you're going to hear, say, in a very academic prose. It's not something that you're going to find people just throwing out in slang either. It's right there in the middle. And in terms of its tabooness, pretty low. This is one that you can say in just about any context without offending people, without people thinking that you have transgressed some social rule. And then finally, we come to copulate, which again, informatively, has that same informative meaning, have coition. Emotionally, very low. This is a word with very low emotional value, right? Really doesn't contribute any emotion to a conversation. And in terms of its valence, it's pretty much neutral, right? It's not positive and it's not negative. Socially, high register, right? This is the sort of word that you would hear in, say, a biology class. This is the sort of word that you might see being thrown out in, say, the New York Times. And in terms of its tabooness, quite low, right? This is not high tabooness. Compare this with fuck, which is up here. Copulate is down here, about as low as you can get, and still have this same informative meaning.